Welcome to the CFG Gamecast, episode number 273, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode every week and release it on all podcast services, so do us a favor and show us some love by liking, following, subscribing, or commenting on our YouTube page, the CFG, or on our Twitch page, twitch.tv/CFGgames, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today, I got my two awesome gamers. I got Pop in the second seat. What is going on, Pop? How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I've had a really decent week. Gotten back into streaming with the new PC, which I absolutely love. It runs super smooth. I haven't had any issues. I have not bought a game on my console since I've got this PC.
You just haven't even gotten up. That's funny.
I haven't even gotten a new game. Like Ninja Gaiden Ragebound comes out this week. I'm probably gonna get it on PC. I've completely stopped playing.
Ragebound comes out this week.
Yeah, Ragebound. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I think it's coming to Game Pass. I'll have to check. And then Shinobi's coming out next month. There are some games that I will always play on console for reasons like, the Yakuza series and me being one of the few console speedrunners for some of those games. But outside of that, PSO, I haven't played that on PlayStation since I got my PC. Streaming has been such a great time. I haven't had any issues with OBS. OBS would always try and blow up on me, but it has not.
Nice.
Yes. Surprisingly. Yeah. So, but we'll see once I get the things rolling with my VTuber model, which her head has to be re-rigged, and then my new PNG is under works.
Nice. Is there a date on when that's going to be all fully done to have your animated avatar?
No date. It's just a work in progress right now.
Oh, okay, cool. That's cool. That's awesome. Hey, but Pop,
what's up?
You know who is the black version of Ted Lasso that knows how to play football manager?
You wouldn't happen to be talking about another person with us today, right?
Yes, I'm talking about the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty on the third seat. What's going on, Smitty? You gotta admit, Ted Lasso is tight.
I fell off Ted Lasso in the middle of the second season. I need to restart the second season and go through that because I did enjoy the show.
The third season picks it up. You're right. Second season, I could easily see you dropping off because it is kind of yes.
I can't remember if they broke it up and that's why, or some reason I fell off and I just haven't gone back to it. But I did enjoy the first season of Ted Lasso, so it's on the list. I've been checking things off. Finished Black Mirror. Finish nice. Love, Death and Robots. Working my way through the second season of Dan to Dan. And what else came? What was that one that came back? Sakamoto Days. Sakamoto Days also came back, which I'm really enjoying. Sakamoto Days.
Still need to watch those. Yeah, but anyway, tell you I still need to.
Sakamoto Days is on Netflix.
Yeah. I have it on Netflix. Yeah, I need to watch that. I haven't seen it. There's so much Netflix I haven't seen. It's not even funny. Like I need to watch that. I need to watch Scott Pilgrim, the animated show, and there's just so many. That. Yeah, food. What's called the dungeon? Food dungeon.
I need to do that one. Dungeon. We finished that. Dungeon. Yeah, we're caught up in that.
I need to see all that.
That's really
I'm
so
far behind. Yeah, I watched the first episode and I'm like, I need to go. I liked it. I was like, I need to watch all of it. So we'll see. Yeah. But anyways, how you doing, Smitty?
Doing well. Just staying busy. Like I said, the girls get back sometime this week. We just been grinding, cleaning, all that stuff, preparing because summer's almost over for them. Az's birthday is coming up here too, as well. Like you alluded to earlier, we got a busy week ahead of us with Evo coming up next weekend, right? It's next weekend.
Yes. No. Yeah. This following weekend.
weekend.
This coming up weekend. Yes.
So we got a busy week ahead. So just planning and what we're gonna do there. So I'm excited about all that stuff going on, gaming wise. Obviously, we were playing some DK Bonanza last night. Just enjoying that playthrough. Got on some Mario Kart World as well. We did all right. We got a couple dubs on the online play. So.
Nice.
Other than that, just and then just working my dynasty in college football 26. So those have kind of been the focal points of things right now. So yeah.
Okay, here you go. But here's a question because I'm going to keep you accountable, Smitty.
I have not.
How far are you on Ghost of Tsushima?
I was. I'm still fairly early on. I'm still in Act 1, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I haven't I didn't touch it at all the last like couple weeks or so. I just haven't had time to like really, you know what I mean? Like my time has been spent, well, obviously with the 2 new games, a lot of my time's been spent on those. So I just kind of put that to the side for a moment until I can burn out one of the games. At least, I think. We'll see.
Oh, okay. Well, let me hurry up on it. Because remember, the next one's October. So there's another deadline. The first week of October. So keep that in mind.
I need to put that in the calendar. That's right, dude. You're right. Because that's going to sneak up on me so fast. We got time, though. And I feel like if I burn through, like I could burn through that game. You know what I mean? The challenge is going to be me not doing all the side stuff.
You will never burn through any game, dude. Every time you say that, it's like it's still going to take you years, bro.
I know.
Every time.
Every single time. I can burn through the game. In reality, I don't have time to do it.
Oh, you know what? You're always that person that's like, you know what? It's easy. It's not going to be that long. And then it's like 3 years later.
Won't even know. Like, well, I was mistaken.
It's like, I was wrong. I was wrong. Okay, but... Yeah, that's funny.
The real question is, when do I finish Death Stranding 1?
Oh, we know that's a dead cause.
It is. It's not a dead cause.
We know
it's gone. I absolutely plan on playing the second one. I started getting deep in the first one. I did start getting deep in the first one, so I was there. I just need to.
Hey,
it's hard sometimes.
When did you start that again?
What?
Death Stranding. Like, when did you actually start playing it?
When I restarted?
Yeah.
Probably like 2 months ago, maybe, or something.
Oh, okay.
Sometime before the first one came out, or the second one came out.
It's not that bad as like Metal Gear Solid 5 then.
No. Now, well, so like I started it originally, like when did it come out?
This one came out on PS4, so I'd say about had to have been 4 or 5 years ago.
That's okay. So it may be as bad then.
I love it when you're like, no, it's not that bad. Yeah.
I am further.
I like you second guessed yourself in the middle of that. You're like, no, it wasn't that bad. Well,
when you think about the timelines, it's like it's creeping up on being just as bad as Metal. It's Kojima. I love Kojima, but like it takes forever to get through. There's too many games now.
Maybe that's just your relationship with Kojima, because that's 2 games, dude. That's a pattern at this point.
That is starting to turn into a pattern. But I feel like also when I was playing his games earlier on, there were a lot less games that I had to play. So I was able to focus on one game at a time. Whereas now I pretend like I could do like 10 at a time. And it's not even feasible, dude. Not even.
That is very true. That is very, very true.
Anyway.
That's funny.
What about you? How was your week?
Oh man, I've been busy as always. Nothing surprising here. All day, every day, pretty much. But yeah, I've been getting ready. I've been getting packed, getting set up for Evo 2025. I haven't been to Evo in about 5 years. It's been about 5 years.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah, so it's been a little bit. So to see it grow where it's going to go, it's going to be insane. I've gotten so many things that I have set up already for Evo. I've already made sure, I'm going to definitely take advantage. I'm going to use this bad boy, my Osmo 3,
yeah,
to try to do some good videos without carrying a rig with me. So that hopefully looking forward to that. Just hopefully just having a great time there as well. So game wise, I haven't played anything. I need to get back on Neo 2. I've been wanting to play Neo 2 some more. And I need to play a fight. I've just been wanting to play a fighting game, but I don't know what. Pop, what should I play? You've been playing fighting games more recently than I have.
Have you been playing Under Night? The new DLC character comes out this month.
Nah, I don't care about Under Night.
Trying to think of what else. I mean, Gear, Lucy's about to come out in Strive. It's still summer. She'll probably get announced or like revealed at Evo, and then be like, "All right, here she goes."
Oh, was that Cyberpunk? Oh, that's right. I thought Cyberpunk did. Oh no, that was a new character they announced.
Unica's from the anime series.
The anime. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah. So you're right. Okay, so that's gonna be pretty cool. So the best thing, so I might go back to Strive or so. Street Fighter 6, I am wanting to, but for some reason I just haven't had a drive to as of late. So been wanting to it's just been sitting there in my on my shelf for a long time, but we'll see. Tekken, I really wish I could, but I suck at Tekken. I really do suck at Tekken. Yeah, so but anyways, but I really want to get into Neo 2. I want to see how much of a kerfluffle it. The death count right now I believe is at 27. So we'll see where it's going to be at, but I'm making strides. I'm going to fight a boss here very soon. Game. Say what?
That's not bad for early game.
Like really?
No, that's not bad.
This is the first stage, though, isn't it? Like, this is not including the prologue stage that totally tore my soul apart after I realized I took too much time on fighting this stupid horse head.
You're far enough to the point where I've seen people die. Like, I've seen people get 50 deaths off the first mini boss.
That's funny. Oh, see, that's crazy. But not, yeah. But anyways, well, yeah, we'll see. I want to see. I want to do at least one stream before I go to Evo. So we'll. So hopefully, maybe on Wednesday or so. But anyways, but I know y'all don't want to talk about the streaming strategies or my streaming plans because we know it's all over the place. So let's go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic or discussion in the world of video games. The topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry. And we do not want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners and viewers on Twitch and on YouTube, to be a part of the conversation. So if you're something you want to chime in about or wanting to talk about it, by all means, just type it inside the chat. We will talk with you and go from there. So we have a real interesting week of gaming news or topics that we wanted to talk about. It's like it's all over the place. Like a lot of random things are happening for the first time ever for me, like in my opinion, because there might have been, correct me if I'm wrong, but like all this stuff is just flat out weird. It's unforeseen territory for a lot of different things that are happening here. So, first off, the big thing that I was noticing was that so Microsoft, as you know, ever since I want to say was it the Summer Game Fest, they announced that their upcoming releases, all their upcoming releases in this year was going to be moving up to $80. And the Outer World was going to be the first one that they were planning to release at an $80 price tag. Literally this week, they did a statement saying that they were wanting that they're rolling back that decision and they're moving it back down to $70. Now, what's weird about it to me? There's two things that's weird about it to me is that. The one thing that have always said about change when it comes to gaming is that people need to vote with their wallets. And it seems like in this case, it seems like unanimously a lot of people did say that, said, hell no, we're not going to spend $80. It doesn't make any sense for us to be spending $80 and we're not getting a difference in a feel or a reasoning on why it's going as high as it is. And two, the fact that Microsoft decided to say we're going to roll back not just the Outer Worlds from 80 to 70, but but for the rest of the year. Mind you, this is only a temporary win. The rest of the year, any games that come out this year is going to be at a $70 price tag at the highest. So they're saying that the change came after a widespread criticism impacting the Outer Worlds 2 for the holiday titles, and but I don't know if that's something that was I mean, I don't think the criticism was the reasoning. I think it was a matter of people the realizing how low was the reservation. Like the reservation must have been abysmal for them to say, okay, this is not working. We need to do something fast, and we'll do it this way. There's rumors that it's going to be a multi-platform game, so it's going to be on PS5 and I don't know about the Switch 2, possibly on the Switch 2, but it's not heard of yet. But if that is the case, I can understand why they're wanting to doing what they're wanting to do, because I believe was the Outer World 2 was going to be a day one release on Xbox Game Pass. Am I right?
It is.
Okay. So yes. Yeah, so with that in mind, they're still wanting to sell the game, but if the sell numbers are that low, and then they're going to be dealing, and then they're saying, okay, we need to do something drastic as that is wild, especially a company like Microsoft saying, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to renege on what we said we're going to do, because I mean they jacked the price of everything else except for I guess now, like, remember, like the Xbox Series X now costs $600 instead of $500, and like the same thing for the Xbox Series S. It's a little bit higher. I think it's $50 more than what it was initially came out to be. So I mean, it's weird. I just wish that there was stats. That's the one thing I really wish about it. Like, what the heck's going on? I mean, I would love to see what led them to this decision. Like, to say like, oh yeah, Outer Worlds 2 was not performing the way we wanted it to for a game that at that scope. So we're doing this, So what are y'all's opinions about this?
For me, the whole, and this is like one of the biggest things when Nintendo originally, came out saying that they're going to be selling some games for $80. I was just like, oh man, that's going to open the floodgates. And sure enough, it wasn't too long after that Microsoft was like, oh, this is going to be $80. It's officially going to be their first game that's $80. I think from what I saw, generally, I think the team from Obsidian was not really feeling that price point, even though they had no say within it. And obviously the community came out and were like, they were talking about it as well. So I'm wondering if that had, anything to do with them taking a look and being like, oh, maybe we should take a step back. But for me, especially as a consumer, is what exactly determines an $80 game versus a $70 game versus a $60 game versus a $50 game. And at least from a $70 game to an $80 game, like, I really need to, like, I feel like for a lot of people that kind of puts it into a new like pricing bracket. Whereas some people are a little more, they'll be a little more, have the ability to get something that's $70 or $69.99 versus something that's $79.99. And I just don't know what that metric is, or what's determining. And now the fact that they've taken, gone back on it, it feels like it was just an arbitrary, like, we're just going to slap an $80 price tag on this just go.
That's exactly what I feel. You're totally right. You're totally right about
it's
that.
It's like, what, dude? Like, yeah. Like what? Like, I need to know more info in terms of where they are coming up with this pricing, because it seems like they just did it just to do it. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh, sorry, my bad. Not only that, but it was also, it's really weird. I feel like it was a weird marketing move to make an announcement and video about the fact that you guys mispriced this game and now are going back and making it $69.99. Like, a lot of time people would just be like, we're just going to do that. We're not going to, we don't need to make a big deal out of it. We're not going to say anything about it. But I guess they kind of made a spectacle of it when they said, this is going to be our first $80 game.
That is a good point.
So they almost pigeonholed themselves into being like, now we got to say something about this because we made such a big deal about it before. So I think it's a smart move on their part. I think it was dumb. I still don't understand where they're coming up with these $80 games and how they're justifying the increase. But I guess we'll see. I'm not mad at this move. I think it's a smart move on their part. So I haven't even played the Outer World. So, I'm kind of.
You probably never will, to be honest for you. It wouldn't be a game. Like, I'm not, it's not.
You don't know me.
This isn't a cut down.
Now I'm going to play it. This is a challenge.
This is a Stop. I'm just saying that
before 2025 is over.
Yeah, it's funny. But okay. Yeah. Okay. I would love to see it. That would be if you do, it would be awesome if you did. Because it's a good game. Yeah. I will definitely give it that. What do you think, Pop?
My thought process is along the same, because first of all, $80 is pretty steep for a game. And that's excluding, if people want to get the deluxe edition or get any pre-order bonuses, which to my knowledge, those who pre-ordered did get refunded. Not quite sure how that works, but getting refunded the difference. But I would like to see, they got to start showing us some information as to a justification for these prices. Because, people, how much a game offers is always subjective amongst gamers, but you can't argue numbers. If they show us the numbers, people will still complain, but it'll be more so, this is why that happened versus, people paying for the game like, it's definitely worth this price because you get to do X, Y, and Z, and someone else being like, no, because I only played it once. Just show us the numbers and people will probably talk less.
It's funny because I think I think Smitty kind of nailed it on the head on like where they're getting these numbers at. The $80 on this doesn't make any sense. Like, to Scyther's point, I'm going to have to come back to some of the chats that are.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of
there's a lot
going on in chat.
But like in the from Scyther's point, saying that $80 you're good, he's good with, but $100 he's good with if the game is full release, bug free at launch, and has reviewed before release to give a valid expectation for the multiple unbiased sources, which absolutely is the way that everyone should look at a game. Because like to say to justify. You're putting $80, you're putting this much money in a game that's not complete, or saying, it's going to be coming in like 6 or 7 months, is insane to me. And I've always, and that is the biggest beef that I've always had with these, with people always asking, pay us first, but we promise we're going to get you your game later. I never liked that. And but what's weird is that development for this game, like Outer Worlds, is not something that happened in like the last year or so. This is a game that's been happening probably for a long time, 5 or 6 years, probably tops, this a good while. And then the feel of them of them coming at you, especially to the consumer, the day one of at Summer Game Fest, saying this is going to be our first $80 game. We're jacking the price up to $80 because it's going to be $80. This game was probably being made while the Xbox One was coming out. And you're telling me like you're not justifying the reasoning of this price hike, and yet you're just assuming that us as a consumer is just going to pay, just do it. We're not. I mean, as we've always said, Nintendo goes on the beat of their own drum because they get away with it for some odd reason, but they do. But you can't just be like the expectations to be like, oh, okay, we're just going to take it without saying anything. In the last 5 years, we've jumped from $60 to $80, theoretically $60 to $80 games, which is the fastest I've ever seen any game hikes that's been consistently happening, which is insane to me. So like, I think the matter of $80, like I'm fine with $80 to Cypher's reasoning of it too, makes a lot of sense, but we're not there. We're nowhere near it right now. Even like the Mario Kart World was $80. I feel like that was an immediate. Yeah, I know you did.
More. I'll pay more money. I don't care.
Yeah, but Mario Kart World was an immediate cash grab because they knew it was going to sell regardless of whatever it was. Like, remember that meme that I showed you with J. Jonah Jameson talking to Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, saying like, "Oh yeah, Spider-Man pictures. I'll give you 200." Then he says 400. It's like, what? That's preposterous. Here is $400. They were just going to give it to you at that point. So like, it's just, I mean. I don't want to say like smart move on Microsoft. I wouldn't even call it smart. I think they needed it. This is something they needed to happen. They openly said the public is going to pay $80 regardless of what we are, because we are Microsoft. We're going to be selling these games at this point. And then the public said, we're not paying that much for Outer Worlds 2. We're not going to pay that much for that game. Are you kidding me?
Mad?
Exactly. Exactly. You know, like there's no way. Like, you know what? You know what I think, you know, if it was $80 that I think that they could get away with, that I seriously think they would, because it's been such a long time. Gears of War. The Gears of War 0 Day or something. Even though the game I don't think is going to be like great or, you know, superb in the level, but I think that it's been so long, so much time, and it's its own different kind of, you know, style, that I think that people would be willing to pay for that kind of game, if it's going to be an engine that was meant on the next gen and the next gen alone, you know, or PC, you know. So yeah, but it's crazy. Let's. I mean, if you have anything else to say, I'm gonna go roll up on the chat, because good God.
Yeah, no. While he deciphers what's going on up there. You know, I totally understand too where they're coming from. There's some games, I think, some games that it doesn't matter what they like. GTA 6, I think, is going to be an example. I don't even think that's going to be $80. I think that's going to be closer to like $120. If you know what I mean. And I think they'll be able to get away with it because they put a lot into it as well. I mean, look at GTA 5. This game has been around for what, 15 years, 12 years?
2013, something. I believe.
Okay. So whatever, do the math. You know, it's been around for a grip, and it's just literally generating revenue hand over foot, to where they haven't had to do anything else other than focus on that game. And now they've got this base, they've got this idea and this infrastructure that they're going to be able to build off of and moving forward. So, you know, I think that's a good example of where I think you can price that at a higher price point and people are going to pay it, and, you know, they can justify with as much content. And then not only that, but then the user generated content that comes from it is a huge market now as well. So, you know, I think that's an example of a game that will be able to price higher and it will be justified.
Yeah. Let's see. Seven Figures says $80 games is any game you sell after killing companies you acquired for Game Pass. You know, after the console price hikes caused money was burned at an alarming rate. I don't know, like when big companies buy studios, that's the one thing I've always worried about. It's always going to be something like this. It always happens when it comes to this. And I think with the amount of spending that Microsoft has done throughout the past, like the most recent, like the past 10 years with the big studios, being the biggest one, the Activision Blizzard for 60 something billion dollars, that they're not looking at game quality. They're looking at trying to get their revenue back, and they're trying to get their stuff back in any kind of way. And then back to what you did say earlier before that point, when you're saying you think that Microsoft hasn't been doing well since Game Pass and buying those game companies. I mean, like, from with the information that I have from Microsoft, which is incredibly little, is I would like I see what they're wanting to do, but I don't ever get what the hell, like, how they consider this to be profitable, like at all. None of it, because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like the fact that, like, I know that they're wanting to be having a place that's all play everywhere and anywhere and stuff, but at the same time, you have all your games accessible through Game Pass, which is theoretically a Netflix thing. So they get a bigger piece of that pie, but however, they're still taking like the revenue for all these other game companies and studios that are within it. Doesn't make any sense to me on keeping it up. And then what makes on top of that, all the studios that you bought are big AAA studios. So how would you consider that to be a success if you're not getting or not focusing on getting, like, someone going to a store and paying full value, $70 or $80 for that said game, or for as many units sold? Like, I feel like that hurts yourself in some sort of way. The only game that I can see that was truly successful in that eye was Expedition 33. But Expedition 33 wasn't a AAA title. It was a game that came out at $50. It was sold on multiple platforms. People were buying it on multiple platforms, and then it was still a day one on the on Xbox Game Pass. But you can legitimately say that game sold 6 million units, and and you know that that's what's coming up. But like if you see a game like Outer Worlds 2 that's made by Obsidian, those games are not cheap. If you see games like Activision's Call of Duty 6 or 7 or whatever that's coming out, the Black Ops 6 or 7, then I mean those games are not cheap. But then you're expecting to do DLC content, maps, upgrades, and all these extra microtransactions, and yet you like what would constitute as success if you can't even see any of all that? So that's what I'm worried about. From all of this stuff.
Scyther makes a good point about mobile companies and how much, because like you're right. Mobile gaming, they are making boatloads of money in the profitability of them. I mean, there's a number of companies that, and I know it's talked about a lot less, but of mobile developers and companies that have been acquired. I know Tencent is very active in that space as well, where they do have, you're talking about, why don't they release on both PC, console, and mobile platforms? Look at Once Human. Once Human is on PC, console, and mobile platforms. You've got other games that are as well. You've got something like Netflix Games, which they're looking to expand as well. I still think their UI needs more work, but they very much, it's like just having mobile games. The only thing is that it's underneath right now their subscription model. So I don't know what they look at or how they go about making that a profitable venture, but it's definitely something that they're going towards. But you're right. The mobile gaming industry, in terms of money, is huge. And I think you will see Microsoft dip more into that space as well. So we'll see. And just to comment on what Mr. Seven Figures was saying, was kind of what I thought was going to happen with Bethesda, was that underneath Microsoft, they were going to kind of rein them in a little bit and make them actually like, look, you can't just put out crap and treat your people, the way that you guys do. So they've kind of reeled them in a little bit. And I think that's why we're hopefully going to see and get better products out of that studio. So I think in terms of that was a good thing for them, and how they went about making Elder Scrolls Online less buggy. I don't know. Maybe their infrastructure, or they must have done something.
Maybe overhead. Maybe daddy Microsoft decided to put their hands in things, because it used to be just Xbox. But like I said, I think that Microsoft put in so much money that now they have eyes on that division, as opposed to being separate between Xbox and then Microsoft. So because I mean, dude, they asked for 8. I mean, they've spent over $100 billion. So there's no way that they would have their opinions on what's going on, So yeah, but anyways, what'd you say, Scyther? Didn't mean to cross-platform the games. I mean, put money makers on mobile. Well, that's a whole different conversation on when it comes to that kind of thing, in my opinion, because with mobile, it's funny because I always have a whole different deal when it comes to mobile games. Don't say I hate them, but it's like the machine works a lot different than what it is on the regular, a regular console / PC gaming, So that's just crazy. The Azure special sauce got bugged at fixing their game. That's funny. Microsoft's cloud services. Okay, well, anyways, so that's cool. But anyways, I guess it's a small victory we can celebrate. I guess I don't care at this point at $70, but it's a thing, it's they dropped it down to 70. Hopefully, people will be more aware to fight these fights of like saying this is not worth the $80. Like if you're wanting to spend $80, you want to get $80 worth of a game, nothing more and nothing less. So you could justify 70 because that's how 70 is at right now. But like if they're going to just jack the price up, no, absolutely not. So good job on having them roll it back, or the people to roll it back. But anyways, Smitty, what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah, I had to talk about this. This one's kind of a weird one. earlier this week, 1047 Games, the makers of Splitgate and Splitgate 2, announced that they are going to be rolling back Splitgate 2 back into beta. The community has come out, have voiced their frustrations with the game. They said it feels very generic. It feels like they took what they did from the first game and like, you know, the things that made it unique and like kind of just put it into a generic feel of a PvP game. And there was issues with their transactions being a little too just aggressive. So they came out with a statement saying that they launched too early. You don't really see devs. This like the only thing I could think of is like multiverses where all of a sudden they're all like, we're going to go ahead and close beta access off again. Like, excuse me, this game is what? Like, it seems weird, but clearly there were issues and things were missing the mark. Basically they felt that they've rushed features. They haven't put the things in. And that's kind of how like Portal 1 was built. You know, the community responded really well, talked about how unique. I never personally played it, but talked about how unique the game was, how fun it is and stuff like that. So to see something like this, you know, and obviously, and I think this is a very minor blip, but almost like a karma moment where there's a dude that here like a month ago, it might have been Summer Game Fest or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. But he was wearing a make a FPS great again hat, and like people took it the wrong way, and like now, you know what I mean, people are clowning this dude because they're having to take it back into beta. It's obviously got nothing to do with that. This actually, I think, is a smart move on their part. Unfortunately for them, they are going to sustain layoffs due to this, and they're going to try to minimize those layoffs by shutting down the servers of Splitgate 1. So they said that they're exploring options of doing a peer-to-peer connections or having like an offline mode for it or something. But to save on having to cut more people, they're going to shut down those servers. So, you know, it's weird. Clearly, they should not have launched when they did. If it wasn't ready to go, they believed it was ready to go, but they needed to do more testing. They weren't listening, you know, clearly to feedback. They went into that mode that we see so many games of that genre try to do. They basically try to do what Fortnite does. It doesn't work because Fortnite's already doing it. And like, and like, what's good about this game, the uniqueness of the portals and the fun gunplay, you know, they kind of didn't really do like they kept that as a base, but then they didn't add anything to it. They just took that and put it into a generic FPS setting.
Have you played it?
I have not. The thing about this too is that even though it's going to be in beta, the beta is still open, so you can continue playing the game. You can go and download it, all that stuff. Again, I hear it's a fun game. I hadn't really heard all this negative stuff until this came out, and I saw they're reverting it back to beta. I was like, is this game, number one, is this game out? I didn't even realize the game was like officially out either. So I thought that was kind of weird. Like, I don't remember really seeing much marketing for it, which is kind of weird, especially if the game's actually out. So,
well, Splitgate 1 didn't get any marketing either. It's a small company. So
it is a small company. That is true. But like, I felt like, I don't know. Like I remember like the rumblings of this coming up and them talking about, you know, oh, we're going to be doing a Splitgate 2 and all that stuff. I just felt like there would be more hype behind it, especially with it officially being out. And I didn't really get that. And even from like the content creator space, I did see some, like I saw some Inferno people did some content about it and whatnot, but like, I don't know if that correlated with the actual launch of the game would be my guess. But yeah, I don't know. I want to know what you guys think about it, or if you've played this game, if you think it's a smart move. I appreciate the transparency and them being like, yo, we released too early, y'all, my bad.
Well, you want to go, Pop?
I've never heard of a game going back to beta. I didn't even think that was possible. Like, is this the first time in history that this has happened? I'm genuinely asking.
I don't want to even objectify to think that this is the very first time in the history of gaming, but I will say I've never heard of it either. To be fair, because like we've heard of like what they did with Multiverses. Multiverses was a beta when it first came out, but they didn't really do a good job saying it was a beta, but it was a beta. So even Multiverses didn't even do this. So I don't even know what to say about it, but I will say this though, because like the one way I could take a look at it, because I know this is the kind of game I would never play. I watched people play Splitgate, the first Splitgate, and it looked like it was a really fun time with the portals and stuff. So I was hoping that the second one was going to add to it, but I still have no frame of reference. So the best place to find the good frame of reference for this is the best and most trustworthy place, the Steam reviews. So let's go to the Steam reviews here for a minute. And I'll do like I said, I'll do one negative and I'll do one positive. So let's see what I can find. I'll find a good one. Okay, you know what? I'll start off with a negative one. I might have to start off with two because one of them was actually pretty funny. The way this guy totally went overboard on this, and he got an award for it too, which is funny to me. But the first one, this is from a guy named Mr. Wikonu, and he's done 1900 on his account, and he says that Splitgate 1 is arguably one of my most favorite MP games of all time. This reimagining has worse map design and skin design than any of the prior game. Infinitely more monetization, less focus on the fun and wacky game modes, and then also goes and shoves unneeded hero classes into the mix. And now they're abandoning it just like they did to Splitgate 1, which they're now shutting down without even offering a form of self-hosting or community browsers like games have done for decades. Ridiculous and incompetent. My heart is broken. That's actually kind of sad.
It's very sad.
Yeah, really. So, but the second one to that, complete opposite, that's also negative, was eat shit. First, you do little oopsie whoopsie. I did a shitty wucky when caught overcharging from microtransactions. Then you bring over your shitty battle royale that fucking no one knows and ask for. And now you shut down the original game servers? Go fuck yourselves, 1047. Yeah. So there you go.
Hold on. Is there a positive?
That is, sorry. That was the positive. No, I'm just kidding. The positive. Okay, there we go. So, okay, to be fair, this guy's a little long. Let me see if I get one that's actually, I'll do two just to be on the fair side. So, Ecliptic says, there's a lot of people complaining about nonsense in the reviews. The core arena modes are fun, and the BR mode is also a lot of fun. Movement is extremely smooth. Gunplay is very solid, and the portals add for such a cool and unique way of to flank enemy players. The game is easy to learn, but quite hard to master. Even though I never played this game before, I will say you just pretty much described Splitgate 1. I mean, you didn't really add anything additional to 2, in my opinion. So I don't know if that really helps. If it's in my own opinion for the positive, but there you go. And then another one, a little bit lengthier, says he put 8.6 hours into Splitgate 2, and overall I enjoyed the experience. It's a solid shooter with some exciting moments, but like many other games in the FPS genre, it didn't leave me itching to come back for more. That's not necessarily a knock on the game itself, but more of a reflection of how creatively boxed in the arena shooter space has become. So he kind of goes into more of like the style and the movements, but he was pretty much comparing it to saying that Splitgate 1, there's not much of a different take to it. So I guess the biggest gripe is that it's kind of like the gripe of Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. It's like, what are we buying a sequel for at this point? You know?
Right.
Like, so, but to say that to get it to beta, that's not a good sign. any way you look at it, especially if it's a very niche community for Splitgate. That to me it seems like it might be a DOA at that point. Like,
well, I don't know if it's DOA though, if especially if they go back, because like what I'm hearing is, and again, people love Splitgate 1, right? It was unique, it was different. They took those mechanics but didn't really do anything different with them. They didn't increase or make it better. They threw a battle royale into it, which is the cookie cutter, you know what I mean? Here's a way for us to try to make money type of deal. And then they have these crazy overpriced microtransactions, which is instantly going to turn somebody off, right? Not only that, but if you have microtransactions within a game that you've already purchased, I think you are shooting yourself in the foot out the gate, because you're paying to have to pay to blah, 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 you know, all that stuff. Like it just, it's not a good look, especially within that space. Again, you're competing against a bunch of other really good free-to-play games. You're right. You're basically DOA if you try to come out into that space, unless you have something unique or something that's gonna not only get people to play the game, but continue and keep coming back to play that game. Like, you can't just do that. Like they make that mistake all the time with online service games, right?
Yeah,
They make a game, but they don't make it meaty enough to sustain the community and to be able to roll out. You got to have a whole roadmap of things, because people want that. You know, you got to be able to trickle over, you know, the course of a year or whatever, different events, different things, different reasons to keep people not only grinding your game, but to keep them coming back for new events or different things. Otherwise, your community is going to go and they're going to find other reasons to play other games, or there's going to be new stuff. And then there's still the free to play games like that are always going to be solid and have their events and stuff going on. So it's a very competitive market to be in. So to come out, you know, again, they come out with that bold statement of, you know, we're going to make FPS games great again. And then you go and put yourself into a box of everything else that every other FPS game is doing. You kind of did it to yourself, buddy.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree.
You kind of did it to yourself.
It's very true. But what's sad is that this is an indie game that it felt like, you know what it also feels like? It feels like it lost its identity. Like right. throughout the way, like, because like I've talked to this developer a long time ago when Splitgate 1 came a long time ago, and he knew what he wanted out of that game. And then the portals thing, great idea, and different kinds of things. But then he added it with a lot of unnecessary stuff that most people were not even asking for in the first place. And now people are burning it back, mixed with you're asking for more money aggressively with microtransactions. And microtransactions is not a bad thing, but you got to be fair with it. Like, and that's the thing that I think that was missed on this in this fact. So I mean, like, I don't know, when a game decides to say we're going to go back to beta, I don't know how long this game was out to the public officially.
It was had to have been at least a month and a half to 2 months.
Jesus.
I'll look it up.
So even if it's been out for a bit like that, and then for them to say we're going to go back to beta, doesn't give me the most like chance, or the most like, you know, biggest like optimism that this game is going to be successful. Because first off, you burned the bridge of the people that were following and was wanting to support you. And
June
now
6th. It came out June 6th.
So a month and a half almost. Yeah, a little bit over a month and a half. Yeah, so so unless the people have a really short-term memory about it, and then to come back now you're going to be flagged with like, this is the game that came in and then just disappeared again, and that disappeared back to beta again. Unless
one of the biggest things that stuck out to me about those reviews that you read was the fact that I felt the same way about Splitgate 1. It felt like the dev team just kind of abandoned that game and moved on to Splitgate 2. And it felt weird, and I wasn't sure how the community felt about it themselves, but it did seem that way to me. Like, it almost felt like they abandoned the game and just were like, all right, now we're going to move on to this. But it's like, but you guys already have a great game. Like, I don't think there's a need for Splitgate 2. I think you just build off of Splitgate 1 that everybody loves. Like, what?
Right.
Like, it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This could be a 10-4-7 games issue too. It could be indicative, because like you said, at this point this is now turning into a pattern with with these guys. So, you know, or I shouldn't say guys, but with this team. So I don't know where it's coming from, but if you're a Splitgate fan, like I think you're right to question some of this. And ultimately I do feel that this is a good thing for the game, because obviously they were not listening to the community and they went completely off the rails and lost, like you said, Davis, lost their identity along the way. I think this is an identity crisis for the game, and that was their reasoning for going back into beta. Because you're right, they have to pull it back because they've gotten way too far off course. Not only that, but they've done nothing to even feel that way, because the fans are saying, look guys, this game is not like, it's the same thing. It's not there, so good on them for listening, I suppose.
I guess, but, dude.
How do you get so far off the mark, man? That to me is the story. That says a lot more about what's going on behind the scenes than what you see just popping on the game. So
right, exactly. It's funny because Seven Figures was saying about the Kerbal Space Program too, and I totally forgot about that game. And you're exactly right about that. That was a buggy mess. And then really? It was not the second one. The first one people loved. It was real fun. It was a fun game. But then 2 was announced. People were hyped about it because they're thinking that they're going to be adding some more to it. But that thing was glitch-tastic. Like, there was so many random things that were going off on it. It was insane. So that's a
and
really
they never
good point.
Fixed it. They never went in and I
think they tried, but it was too late. It was too late. Remember when we were talking about it's kind of, I hate to bring it back up, but thanks to Pop, but because of Mind's Eye. But,
he did it.
Yeah.
We agreed not to talk about it.
Yeah, I know. We agreed to not talk about, but it is essentially what it is. It's like what they're trying to do. They're saying, hey, we need you. We're gonna re-release the game. It's like, you made your bed, man. There's nothing you could do about it.
But that's not necessarily true. If we go back to looking at Nomansky, they showed that you can do it if you do it.
Yeah, but Nomansky didn't say we're going to go back to beta or we're going to.
No, they did not say that.
We're going to re-release it. They were straightforward that from the gate saying we're going to improve along the way, even though that's probably the still bad, but it's still the least least point of resistance.
After the fact, that was the problem with that.
Yeah, but they still they still were doing it. Yeah, no, essentially it's just whatever at this point. But it's man,
we're
it
sorry.
Sucks. It sucks, man. But the best to Splitgate 2. Hopefully they get something, they pull something out. But I will not be surprised.
Because I hear it's fun. I'm gonna download it just to try it out because I hear it is fun gameplay and stuff like that. So I wouldn't mind checking it out. But I'm not, again, online things like that. I haven't even played Marvels in the grip, dude, because people just start yelling at you and stuff, dude, and it just becomes not fun for me. You know what I mean? So it's just it gets too sweaty. But I'll give it a shot and see how it is.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, you're probably the best person to do it because I know I'm not touching that. So we'll go with it. All right, Pop, why don't you close this off? What are you bringing to the table?
So Wuchang Fallen Feathers came out this week, and it did not come without its own issues. They recently released the game, had optimization issues, and then released a patch, but this patch did not come without gifts. They granted some additional freebies as an apology. But the biggest issue with this patch is that they patched a patch where the patch that got patched was they claimed to fix everything, but they didn't. But this most recent patch fixed what they had claimed to fix in the previous patch. Some of the issues included, performance issues, some bugs. And what they granted, I believe all players got the game's original soundtrack DLC as a form of apology. So some pre-order bonuses were granted as a gift if you had the game. They also had some issues where players who had pre-ordered the game did not receive the correct rewards upon playing the game, and that, to my knowledge, that has been fixed. If you are still struggling to claim your rewards, it said, I believe the dev said that you should log in again and claim them at the donation box located in the Reverent Temple. But yeah, they're working on a more extensive patch in the next few days, and advise players to reach out to customer support. But I want to know you guys' thoughts on 1.3 apparently was the fix where they're like, oh yeah, we fixed everything, we believe that it works well, and then 1.4 they're like, we're sorry, we fixed stuff. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Where are you with that?
I'm not gonna lie to you, and this is what I'm gonna say right now. For the longest of time, I thought you were saying Wu-Tang.
No, Wuchang.
This whole time, I was like,
I enunciate my T's.
Fallen feathers. Okay,
no,
Wuchang.
Like,
that's why I was like, I never heard of it.
We know what you were listening to before the podcast. You don't have to expose yourself. Share the Spotify playlist.
That's why I corrected someone else. Like, oh, Wu-Tang. I legitimately, wholeheartedly thought you were saying Wu-Tang this whole time, and then he said, so he corrected me after asking what the correction. No, I'm serious. I am dead serious. I was like, oh, Wu-Tang, never heard of it, because Wu-Tang has video games. They do. So I just assumed, and there's another one that's coming out soon. So I just assumed that's what you were talking about.
He said, so it's like Wu-Tang Clan game. I'm here for it.
My mistake. I learned something today. I'm a better person before it now. Yeah. Wuchang.
It's the what are they? I've seen it described as the Gooner.
Really?
Souls-like. I'm going to talk about that game review, but it is a Souls-like game.
It doesn't look like a Gooner. It wouldn't be Gooner-like, I would say. I mean,
they say that because the character you play as is very pretty, and
pass.
Yeah. Very ignorant.
But yeah, I'm not a Souls-like player at all. I'm just like meh. So,
what was the one that you played before? Was it the Chinese one? Wulong. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And there's something else too, I think. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, what were the gifts again? Did they give players?
If you do not pre-order the game, everyone got the soundtrack. Those who pre-ordered the game and were having issues with their pre-order bonuses now have access to that as well. So it looks like they got a couple of DLC freebies if you didn't pre-order, and if you pre-ordered what you didn't get, you should now have.
Oh, so you didn't really get anything if you pre-ordered, like other than what you paid for?
Pretty much.
That's kind of lame.
Well, some people logged on and didn't get their pre-order bonuses because that's how broken the game was.
Wow.
Which is terrible. But like they didn't really get any kind of like gift. Like especially the fact is like they pre-ordered, like you'd think they'd get like something, not just what they like
something or in game or something.
Thank you for giving me what I paid for. Can I get a little extra? Like for the trouble? Like what?
How bad?
Well, if you got the standard edition, you would also get the soundtrack, because I think the soundtrack was with the deluxe edition.
Interesting. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking at what they're giving it. What did you say? Was he say Wuchang got a 2.5 on
Steam?
Rating? On Steam.
Yeah, on
okay.
Steam.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's the reviews are mostly negative. So once again, we're going to do this again, but this time for Wuchang. And it is easier to find negative ones more than positives. Okay, so let's just do one. We'll do one. This guy said product refunded. So they said with their new patch, they optimized me out of full native mode. It's crazy how deceitful this lie is. I can't play the game to a full resolution anymore. Slider just looks like DLSS quality, even at 100% refund. Avoid this game at all cost. Okay, let's just go with one a little bit more substance with other stuff. Okay, here we go. So here's one. This one says they should have delayed the game and not used the UE5 engine. The UE5 engine's unstable and wonky. Go play Stellar Blade instead, because of the PC version is playable. Do not buy Wuchang full price. Just wait until it goes on sale and wait for the game is fixed. I want to change my review when the game gets better. Right now, the game is not in a good spot. I am worried for Phantom Blade Zero might end up having the same issues. We'll see. is Phantom Blade Zero made by the same company, by 505?
I don't think so. That's so weird because they just listed a bunch of different games by different companies.
Yeah.
Phantom Blade Zero is by S Game.
I was like, what the hell is that?
And if I recall, that game is specifically being advertised for PlayStation. So
I don't know what that. Yeah, he's all over the place with that one too.
Yeah, because they were just like, go play Stellar Blade and Seb. It was like, but that's not a Souls-like game.
Yeah. Like what?
Let's go to
Phantom Blade Zero is also not a Souls-like game. They're advertising it as an action RPG. So yeah, no, I don't think that person knows their game genres.
Stellar Blade is kind of debatable though, because Stellar Blade does have Souls-like attributes to it, quite a bit of it actually. So like, I looked at it as a Souls-like because of what you had to do for it, but like it's weird with Stellar Blade, but that one I can understand. Phantom Blade Zero is a game that's not even out yet, so I don't know what. Like, I understand his concerns of it, but why would you worry about that when it's a different studio, different console, and all that different stuff? To be
it's weird.
I think it is going to get released on PC at some point, but it's only been advertised on PlayStation stuff, so I don't know where their concern is coming from.
Right, and here's an optimistic one too. Well, a positive one. The game's optimization is horrendous. I had to use mods to fix the stuttering mess that is UE5. I persevered regardless and found the game to be solid Souls-like with some interesting mechanics. All was well for the most part until Commander Honglan, I don't know, maybe a character in the game. This is where my adventure and interest ended. If anyone remembers running into a wall in Liza P with the pre-nerf Archbishop Bishop Andreas boss, which I know exactly what he's talking about. Welcome to the new pain. Okay, so the fact that that's a positive review is kind of worrying. Like, a little bit, but like, so basically, like, so I don't know how bad the optimization is, and that's usually one of the biggest things when it comes to these kind of deals. When it comes to, well, is Wuchang only on PC or is it on console as well?
It's on console as well. I don't know if the optimization. Well, actually, no, the optimization issue was mainly with PC. I don't think any. Yeah.
The port on the console versions usually work better because there's the limitations are built around whatever the game is built around. You know, the least they're all the same, as opposed to PC. Everyone has a different kind of PC in some sort of way. So it's hard. So usually ports to PC is very 50-50 if it's good or if it's bad. However, like, for a game's optimizations and stuff, and like the biggest issues, and it seems like most of these people are playing this on the PC more than they do on console. They add something's up, but then the incentive or the quote unquote apology that they're doing to their fan base, it doesn't seem very sincere, especially like what Smitty was saying, because it doesn't feel like you're getting anything out of all this with this disturbance. Yeah. Especially when you're paying. How much is this game? $50? I'm assuming. Yeah, $50. So it's $50. Then the deluxe is $60. Especially when you're paying straight up money and then you're not able to play it. That would irritate the hell out of me.
Yeah.
You know what they also need to do with reviews and putting in information? People just need to start submitting their specs, because the recommended specs for this is I don't recall what it is for the AMD graphics cards, but for NVIDIA you need at least a 2070.
Oh, really? So, yeah. So that's
people are forgetting that the games, like, especially with UE5, that you got to have a little beefier than what we've been able to in the past. So you got to, look at that as well.
But what sucks is that, they say, I mean, I'm going to be real. I don't know if a lot of people do look at specs to that, look at specs at the game itself. They just wanting to try to play the game, though, sometimes, though, too.
Right.
There's those people.
Yeah.
So, and the way and where they put the specs and the information and stuff, I think it's like it feels like a footnote overall. And Pop, you already know, people don't like to read.
People do not scroll. I always scroll down and read. I had to on my old PC. Granted, I don't have to do it now because I have nothing to worry about until like the next 2 generations of RTX cards comes out. So I don't have to look. Like, even my CPU, I have a 9950 X3D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm good, but as someone who had to look, people need to start looking at system requirements. Your PC will thank you.
Oh yeah,
Trust me.
very much so. But I mean, I bet you it's a little bit of both though, because like I can understand that there is those people that don't look, but if the consensus is like, dude, this is 24,000 reviews, and the consensus is mostly negative, that means there's a problem. There's legitimately an issue with the game itself. So, but like it's. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad that that's what they think that's what people are wanting. Just people need to just I don't even know what to say anymore. Like when it comes to developing with games and stuff, because right now it's so like it's now tale as old as time when something like comes out. It's like, oh, this game that looks really nice and optimized and stuff look like it's fun, but really in reality it's shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we hear that more often than not, and it's like, and it doesn't feel like it's going to change anytime soon. That's what makes it really aggravating, because I mean we all lived during the times when it was like the console wars and the PS2 those kind of transitions when you got the game, you got the whole game, and that's it. But like it just like that is now thrown out the window. Now I just feel like the process of building these kind of games and stuff, and then now seeing these expectations, and then you have to wait for a day one patch, or the patch itself doesn't fix whatever the constant issues are and stuff, and then like in this case the patch says that it fixes the issue, but it didn't fix the issue. The next patch fixes the issue that it was supposed to be fixed is just extreme, and it makes you just not want to deal with it. And that's what's really unfortunate to me. But anyways, are you going to play this game though? With that said, are you going to play this game?
If it's still on Game Pass, no. I plan to. I have to figure out if there's spiders in it or not, because they like to throw those in the games. I need to see if they are tolerable or if it's just a complete no for me.
This game definitely has spiders. I may not have seen it, but I've seen video of it. This game looks like a game that would have spiders. Definitely.
I thought you actually like looked it up. I was gonna be like, oh darn.
No,
but if you
Yeah, definitely not. Okay, but anyways, we'll see. But anyways, all these patches, glitches, and retellings and stuff. Interesting week of all of this. So, folks, thank you for listening to episode number 273 of the CFG Gamecast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. As always, we will be back again. Actually, we will not be back again next week. We're going. Smitty and I are going to be traveling to EVO 2025 in Las Vegas, so we will not have an episode next week, but we will have one definitely the week after. I hope to have a video made for our shenanigans that are there. So, but if you did miss out on this episode, that is perfectly all right. We release it on all podcast services at the beginning of each and every week. So there is absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices. Ooh. Yeah, guys. Also, guys, be sure to check us out. Follow, subscribe on our YouTube page, the CFG, or on our Twitch page, twitch.tv/CFG Games, or go to our main website, confreaksgeeks.com, to not miss an episode and check out all the awesome reviews. So once again, this is Davis, Pop, and Smitty signing out. Y'all, take it easy.